What is up, everybody? Hoang0 here, and today I'm here to bring you a Machinedramon Ultimate Cup deck profile for the BT12 EX4 format. So there are Ultimate Cups for both BT12 as well as EX4, so this deck profile is going to try and more or less cover both. The meta doesn't really shift too drastically in between both of those, so this list will be a good standard for both formats, and so I'm really excited to show you guys what this deck can do. This is one of my personal favorite decks in the entire game. This is probably like a top 5 deck for me, so yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Alright, and starting us off, we do have our Digitama. We're going to play 4 Doraemon in this list. And so Machinedramon actually has quite a few viable Digi-Eggs, one of them being Hopmon, who gives you a consistent plus 1000 DP on your turn if you have a Black Tamer, which you do have the 4 analog man for that reason. You can also run Kyokyomon to get the plus 1000 DP across both players' turns whenever you put a card underneath your stack, and that can be pretty useful as well. And of course Doraemon for the additional draw whenever you put a card underneath your stack. The reason why you would consider running Hopmon or Kyokyomon is to really hit those Sonoriza thresholds. Being able to push 13k on your Chaosdramon without needing any of your Jazzamon line is really great. However, what you'll notice is that when you're paying cost for your analog mans or your Chaosdramon X antibodies, you tend to run out of hand very quickly, as well as hard playing things in general. And so Doraemon is a really great way to make sure that you have the hand size to keep up your plays. Going into your rookie lineup, you do play 3 Hagurumon. Hagurumon is really good on play. Discard a machine or cyborg, draw 2. This is one of your primary ways of cycling, and if you play it at 4, that's totally fine. But the thing about Hagurumon that can be a little tricky is that when you play this, that 3 memory is quite a lot in this deck, because you don't have a lot of memory gain, let alone play a memory tamer. So it could just be a little slow, and sometimes that speed loss could be enough to seal the deal into certain matchups. So that's why we only play the 3. And then we do play the 4 Jazzamon. Jazzamon, the main effect doesn't matter because we don't have Hina, but the ESS is very good, being that if the Digimon has an on-play effect, plus 1000 DP during both players' turns. So what this means is that all of your level 6s are hitting an additional 1000 DP across both players' turns, which is really good for blocking thresholds as well as swinging over thresholds. So yeah, Jazzamon is super good, and it plays a really nice role with the Jazzermon, which we'll talk about in a bit. We do play 3 Sonorizamon. Sonorizamon gives you Piercing when it's on main effect for all your Digimon with 13k or more DP, and if you notice, because we don't have red sources anymore, we do lose that Piercing. So we are relying on Sonorizamon to give us that Piercing. And then ESS, Sec +1 at 13k or higher. And so, like we said, that's why cards like the Jazzermon, and the Hopmon are useful, right? But how you can proc that is Chaosdramon X will automatically proc it at 13k base. And so that's pretty great on its own, and then you can also just use the Sonoriza for its proc on main effect. If you need a source of security plus, you do have the Volcamon, which we'll talk about in a bit. And going to our level 4s, you do play the 3 Tankmon. So the 3 Tankmon is a really interesting choice, I think, because between Numemon and Tankmon actually has Cyborg Machine trait that synergizes with Haguru, with Attack of the Heavy Machine, and just a lot of your other cards. And so because of that, boosting your consistency in that regard is really nice. Numemon, yes, it's a 3-cost hard slam, but you can't toss it for the fodder of your cards, so that's why we do play the Tankmon. And 1-cost evolution is really impactful because that allows us to contest speed with other decks. On average, if you get past 3 memory on turn 1, say a I Am Mako, 3-cost hard slam, etc., then you can go Tankmon for 1 and then evolve into your 5 for 3, choke your opponent at 1, and it's a perfect threshold. So that's why 1-cost evolution is so powerful in that regards. We do have the 2 Guardramon. Guardramon is blocker on main and cannot attack, and then ESS. When attacking, discard Machine Cyborg, draw 2. So again, it's just Hagurumon but on ESS, really helping you filter out your deck. And also, being a blocker is kind of nifty, so that way if you're playing into much more aggressive decks, you can set up early blocker until you get to your machine stack. We do play the 3 Jazzermon. On play, check top 4, and the only viable target in our deck is the Jazzamon. But the good thing about that is that if you brick on Rookie, Jazzermon can help you find that Jazzamon, which is pretty nice. And then ESS, same as Jazzamon, plus 1000 DP if this Digimon has on play, again, for both players' turns. So if you have Sonoriza plus Jazzerdmon, that will hit you the 13k threshold for the Sec +1. Going into our level 5 lineups, this is where Machinedramon gets really interesting, and this is where players start to get a little bit more creative about their deck choices. Because Machinedramon, it has to look for unique IDs and names. And so we do have the Digitama from BT11. This is on main effect, jamming, so you can swing this and then evolve into your Machinedramon. And then ESS reboot, so swing, get a ship off, evo machine, and then automatically reboot. So that's the synergy there. Also, just having a source for reboot is really good. Next, we do play 2 of the Digitama from BT6. This Digitamon's main effect is this Digimon counts as red, which really doesn't matter for the case of this deck, but its ESS is on your opponent's turn, plus 2000 DP. Having additional DP on your opponent's turn in Ultimate Cup format is so amazing, because a lot of decks just can't swing over certain thresholds like that. So if you're hitting 14k on your Chaosdramon, for example, only a few decks in Ultimate Cup can actually swing over that, so really strong right there. And I value that plus 2000 so much, and that's why we play 2 of this, to guarantee that we're going to see this a little bit more often. We play 2 Andromon. Andromon is when Digivolving. Check top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with the machine level 6 from the top 3, and then discard the rest. And then ESS, blocker on your opponent's turn. So Andromon is really good, and the reason why we play 2 Andromon and not like 1 Andro, 1 Megadramon from starter deck, despite the unique name ID, is because Andromon helps us find our level 6s, which are so crucial. Being able to dig for that Chaosdramon X, for that Chaosdramon, your Machinedramons, it's just really, really good. So we play the 2, but if you find yourself needing more unique names, go ahead and go 1-1 with the starter deck Megadramon. And you do know there are only 13 level 5s in this deck, but in testing, 13 has felt fine. You can go anywhere from 13 to 15, in my opinion. Next, we do have Metal Tyrannomon. Same effect as Andromon. ESS is reboot. So again, it's a secondary source of reboot aside from Gigadramon. Metal Mamemon, same main effect as the Andromon. And then ESS, when attacking, delete an opponent's Digimon with play cost 5 or less. If you swing Metal Greymon into a target that is 5 or less play cost, and that's your only viable Metal Mamemon target, that will pop the target, and then your attack will fizzle. So do keep that in mind, but it's just great for additional board removal. Now we do play 2 Metal Greymon from BT8. When Digivolving, de-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, and then pop a Digimon with 3000 or less DP. So Metal Greymon, really great stuff, having some additional interaction with your opponent. And then ESS, if this Digimon has Machine or Cyborg in its traits, then you can swing into your opponent's Digimon that are unsuspended. So with Machinedramon, that allows you to it's just really potent removal with heavy attack, or with heavy machine rather. You can swing into those targets after hard playing your machines. We do play 2 Megadramon. Megadramon is when Digivolving, pop a Digimon with play cost 3 or less, or a Tamer that costs 3. ESS is when attacking, do the same. So Megadramon is really fantastic because there are a lot of really potent 3-cost Tamers, as well as just sniping additional bodies on board. So for example, being able to snipe Iron Mako, Warp Impmon, Tommy, just really an abundance of things, and we value that ESS a ton. Now we do play Metal Tyrannomon from BT11. The Wind Digivolving effect, an on-play effect, allows you to stun out your opponent's Digimon based on the number of green or black Tamers that you do have, I believe. And then its ESS is when you delete a Digimon by battle, then you can burn the top card of your opponent's security. So if you block your opponent's Digimon and destroy it, Metal Tyrannomon procs. If you swing into it, Metal Tyrannomon procs. Being able to burn 1 does help your deck push for damage. We do play the starter deck Volcanomon. Volcanomon main effect is blocker. ESS is just a flat sec +1, so we don't have Megadramon in this format because it's Ultimate Cup, so you have to go black base. But Volcanomon is that it's just sec +1, but on a 4-cost body instead of a 3-cost. Going into our level 6 lineup, and of course this could also vary as well. We do play 3 of the BT11 Machinedramon. This is 3 over red or black, and then it's 11 play cost, which is very significant for this deck specifically. When Digivolving or on play, reveal top 5 cards of your deck, add a machine level 6 to your hand, or add a level 6 machine to your hand, or stack a level 5 cyborg red or black underneath this Digimon. If you reveal Analog Man, also add that to your hand. Trash the rest, and then when this Digimon is deleted, if you bot deck an Analog Man, then you can play a Machinedramon from hand. So this is one of your key consistency pieces to make sure that you fill your trash with all your components, as well as just getting your important cards like Chaosdramon to your hand, Analog Man, etc. And being able to float into EX1 Machinedramon is so powerful. And speaking of EX1 Machinedramon, EX1 Machinedramon is on play. You can grab 5 components, so those level 5s from hand or trash, stack it underneath. And for each component that you add underneath this Machinedramon, gain 1 memory. So with 5 components, you do gain 5 memory, so it becomes a 7 play cost for on a level 6. This Digimon, if it would be destroyed, you can go ahead and purge 2 sources instead, and then the Digimon would remain on the board, and this Digimon also cannot have its DP reduced. So Machinedramon is really good against yellow decks for one, so if you're playing against like Machinedramon or something like that, you can just hard wall it out, and then being able to prevent its removal, so either through battle or through effects, it's just really sticky. Then before we talk about Chaosdramon X, I do want to mention Chaosdramon, because this is really important. Chaosdramon is 4 cost over 5, but it's 1 cost over Machinedramon specifically. On Digivolve or on play, you can add 3 pieces of the level 5s from hand or trash, and for each one you do, de-Digivolve 1 for each one on one of your opponent's Digimon. So you can't spread it out, you have to choose 1 stack specifically. And then all turns, this Digimon, whenever it would be bounced or bot decked or deleted, then you do get the ability to purge 2 and then keep it on the board. So Chaosdramon is one of your most potent forms of disruption on your opponent's stacks, being able to remove those pesky level 6s or even Quartzmon, for example. And it also adds 3 pieces. So Machinedramon from BT11, mill 5, or reveal 5, add a piece, mill the rest, and then Chaosdramon, grab back 3 of those pieces, de-Digivolve 3, and if you have Metal Greymon, then you can swing into certain things, and just, really strong card. We played F4 because this card is so impactful. Even if you don't see the Machinedramon, Chaosdramon alone is just super strong. Because with a level 5 underneath, and then adding 3 pieces, that's at least 2 layers of protection that they have to break through. And then Chaosdramon X. Chaosdramon X is a really interesting situation because it's 5 over all the other level 5s, but over Machine or Chaos, it is 2 cost evolution. Start of your main phase, you can add a component, so level 5 from your hand or trash underneath this Digimon, and then this Digimon is able to copy the effects of any level 6 machine underneath. So what that means is that if you have Machinedramon or you have Chaosdramon underneath the Chaosdramon X, it will copy those effects, and it does repeat those effects as well. So whenever you have Chaosdramon underneath, that means you can repeat the de-Digivolve 3, add 3 components, and you'll get all of its layers of protection. If you have BT11 Machinedramon underneath, that does mean you will go ahead, reveal top 5, add the card, mill that, and then also it means that you also get the floating ability. And then all turns, once per turns, when this Digimon would be deleted, trash the top card of your opponent's security. So if they attempt to even remove it, you're going to go ahead and burn 1. So yeah, Chaosdramon X is a really great way to extend into the late game because it keeps adding pieces. So once they get through however many layers of protection, they have to get through more layers of protection that Chaosdramon X is constantly adding. Going into our options, we do run 2 of the attack of the heavy mobile machine, or the attack of the heavy mobile Digimon rather. And at 0 cost, discard a Machine Cyborg Digimon, and the next Machine level 6 Digimon you play this turn gets Blitz plus Rush. So you can play this, and you can play out one of your 6s, and that 6 can immediately attack, despite having summoning sickness, so they'll get it Rush. So that means with Chaosdramon, proc the de-Digivolve 3, and then immediately swing. With Machinedramon, you can play this, gain your 5 memory, and then for 7. You can use this to push to remove bodies with BT8 Metal Greymon. You can use this to just end the game completely, because if they're at 0, you can drop this and then swing for game. And then its security effect is just when this card is revealed, discard a Machine or Cyborg Digimon from your hand, and then if you do, pop a Digimon on your opponent's side of the board with play costs equal or less to this card. So it's just really good removal all around. This is a really great finisher. This card is actually so impactful. This is one of those reasons why you want to play that Tankmon, because it's another fodder for this card. We do play the 2 Black Memory Boosts. Black Memory Boosts, as you know, reveal top 4, add a Black Digimon to your hand, bot deck the rest, and then you can cash this in, gain 2 memory. So it's just a really nice consistency booster. And then finally, we do play the 4 Analog Man. Analog Man is start of your main phase. You can discard a level 5 Cyborg Digimon. If you do, gain 1 memory, draw 1 card. And then during your opponent's turn, whenever they would swing, you can redirect the attack into one of your level 6 Cyborg Digimon. Or level 6 Machine Digimon. So first of all, the +1 memory, draw 1, really great, keeping your cycling going. You don't mind discarding your level 5s because you can grab them back with all your level 6s. Not to mention the fact that with Chaosdramon X, you can discard 1, get all that value, and then just immediately add it underneath your stack because of Chaosdramon X. And then your opponent's turn, the redirect is so powerful because with multiple Analog Mans, you can constantly redirect. Redirecting is not blocking, so it does not trigger cards like the Atomic Inferno, which is phenomenal, like just straight up phenomenal. The only thing I would be a little cautious about with the Analog Man is when you're discarding for cost for Analog Man, sometimes you just run out of level 5s and that can hinder your future game plan, so just do be a little bit aware of that situation. But yeah, Analog Man, easy 4 of in any Machinedramon deck. This card is absolutely gas. It's super good. If you have the Analog Man, which you can search off the BT11 Machinedramon, then you can float into like EX1 Machinedramon. So if your opponent gets rid of EX1, if your opponent gets rid of BT11 Machinedramon on their turn, then you use this effect, play out the Machinedramon from EX1, gain 5 memory on their turn, and you can just straight up end their turn. So really powerful. This deck in Ultimate Cup format is so powerful, and it's so difficult for most decks to actually deal with that I think it's best deck in the format as long as you draw like a playable hand. So yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. I think if you want a good shot at contesting BLs on an Ultimate Cup format, this is the deck to play. So thanks for watching. Peace.